Good morning, family. Happy Tuesday to everybody. I hope your Tuesday is off to a good start. Good morning. I'm excited to share another step, another key with you on our 8 steps to building your self-confidence. And we've already gone through 4 days. We're halfway there. And now we are on day 5, key 5, step 5. So I want to talk to you a little bit about this morning is about in the Bible, when it talks about a change in name or a change in clothing, a change in name always had to do with a change in character. Like when God changed Abram's name to Abraham, and when God changed Jacob's name to Israel, it had to do with a change of character in what God was calling them to. And then when there was a change in clothing, it represented really an outer expression of what was going on in the inside. For example, like when in the book of Esther, when Mordecai, Esther's uncle, changed his clothing to sackcloth, it was because he was mourning the decree that had gone out to kill all the Jews. But one of the people that I want to talk about today when it talks about change of clothing is Joseph, because Joseph went through many changes of clothing, and clothing represented a lot of suffering as well as a lot of elevation in his life. And if you think about when Joseph was first born, he was really his dad's favorite. He really was, to the point where his dad gave him a coat of many colors. And this is what I'm representing today, Joseph in the coat of many colors, because this was his dad's favorite, but it also represented the favor of God that was on his life. And so when his brothers sold him into slavery and they took his coat, it was a way of taking away that favor, a representation of taking away that favor in his life. You know what I mean? But then when he got sold into slavery and he wore slavery's clothes, but then God blessed him with the interpretation to interpret dreams. And when Pharaoh had a dream and no one can interpret the dream for him, it was Joseph who was called to the king's castle to interpret the dream. But before he went to that castle, he had to shave and he had to change his clothes. And that changing of clothing represented that he was changing from being a slave to now being a prince in the land. So day 5 is about steps of building your confidence is to change your outer image. Change your outer image. Whether it's the change of clothes, whether it's the change of the change of a hairstyle, or whether it's just changing around your room or changing something physically in your environment that represents the change that's going on here. So we are moving from those places and bondage of lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-image, lack of self-worth to a change of self-confidence, of self-worth, of positive self-image, of positive self-esteem. So today's key to building your self-confidence is change your outer image. Change your outer image as a representation of a change in your mindset. So that's the key for day 5. And just to recap, number 1 was to stop worrying about other people's opinions of you. Number 2 was to focus on your strengths. Number 3 was to tackle your fears. And number 4 was to treat yourself as your best friend. And number 5 is to change your outer image as a representation of the change in your mindset. Have a great day, and I shall see you on the next video. How about that?